Hello, I'm Lisa Fry, the Catholic Unschooler, and I am here today to help you cook instinctively. That's right. What does that even mean? It means that if you are a nerve-wracked person and you can't cook and you say, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible cook, I can't put a recipe together, I can't boil water. Well, you know what? Today, I'm going to help you trust yourself. That's right. And one of the secret ingredients is this. Some holy water. Yes, if you go to the Catholic Church, you can sprinkle some of this in your food, and then you're guaranteed for it to come out all right. See? In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. And you can also say a prayer to your, maybe you have an Italian grandmother like I do, or a Polish grandmother, whoever it was in your family that was a great cook, and they are now not with you on the earth. You can say, Nana, please pray for me that this meal will come out just as good as yours. So here we go. Today I'm going to help you make my grandmother's fish cakes. Yum, let me show you how it works. First of all, we peeled them, we cut them, and then we had boiled them. Then we mashed them, plain and simple. Then I took some frozen spinach that I had and I put it in here, just so that I know my children are getting nutrition. Now come all the herbs and spices. That's what makes it what it is. And I know, basil, yum. So I never have measurements for anything much. So I just kind of go by how I think I would feel about putting it in the covers. You see, I don't even know. So maybe a tablespoon. It's really whatever you like. And I'm sprinkling it all over the potato. All right, you can see I covered it. That's how usually I do spices anyway. I'll do like a light covering over the whole bit, except for salt, of course. Then one of the next magical ingredients is oregano. Oh yes, this is from my garden. Yum. This is what makes a pizza taste like a pizza. And now I'll use a little bit more oregano than I will basil. Yum. See? Okay, it's going in. So I try to cover, even though we'll mix it, I'll try to cover the whole thing. We are also going to use garlic powder. Wow, does it add flavor? Okay, and it fights cancer, so anything that fights cancer is in my cabinet and my food. Okay, so again, in the cover, and I just sprinkle it. Again, this is instinct cooking. It's all about your instinct, okay? We go by our instinct as well as some of the facts. Okay, so now another wonderful ingredient that I'm going to share with you today is onion powder. Oh yeah, this makes a soup taste like a soup. Again, in the cover. All right, and again, I'm sprinkling it, sometimes maybe even twice, 3 times. Hey, it's my instinct to know that I love onion powder. Okay, and now we're going to put some salt and your pepper inside. Again, I open up my cover, and whatever you think, okay, sprinkle that over the whole thing. All right, same thing with pepper. Instinct cooking. You got to trust your instincts, and if you don't think that you can, you can. You got to give it a shot. You got to have your fails. You have to have your wins. No one's here to judge you. If you make a mistake, then you say, you know what, next time, I'll know. Now, in this recipe, you can add kale. You can add some chopped up carrots. You can add anything that you want. Okay? I'm just keeping it simple today so that my kids don't get grossed out. I'm trying to encourage them to, especially one of them, to eat their greens. So you can put sage in there. You can put any herb or spice that you like to make it the way that you like. Now I think I'm going to stop with those ingredients, and now I'm going to open up a can of tuna. And I'm going to do that in a separate bowl because I want to make sure that the whole thing is chopped up enough. See, I don't want to chop it up when I'm over there in there. And before I pour it in, we're going to mix all that herbs together, all those herbs. All right. I'm not going to drain all the liquid out because that might be of use. Now, how many cans you use, it depends, right? It's whatever you like. All right, so I'm glad I did that because see how the pieces are large? So we want to really mash that down, and that's what I'm doing. All right, So you really want to break it down as much as possible so that you're not getting large chunks when you're eating it, and you can save money by not having to open up so many cans, because you'll have so many little pieces that will disperse throughout your potatoes. All right, to me that looks pretty good, and I'm probably going to add another can. So now, before I put the tuna in with the potatoes, I'm all about mixing ingredients as you go. I didn't do that with the herbs today. I was just trying to help you see that it's good to have instinct cooking, right? Going it with the flow. I didn't want to break that flow. All right, so now that's all set. Now, normally I would add maybe egg here, but I'm going to try, and maybe I would put like the breadcrumbs in here. You can use any kind of eggs, any kind of breadcrumb. However, I like sprouted grain, so what I did was I took sprouted bread, and which means that it's alive, it's not dead bread, and I put it in the blender after I let it sit out for probably close to a week, and made sure, I kept turning them over, making sure the air got at it, and now I have this nice tub of breadcrumb, and I keep it in the refrigerator. So normally I would put that in here too. So with these 3 ingredients, what I'm going to do is, some people may be allergic to egg in here. I'm not sure. I just know that after they eat it, and I can't quite figure out what might be causing the bellyache in my family, but we're going to eliminate the egg for today. I did put olive oil in this pan. Now, I oftentimes bake these, okay? But today I want a little bit more flavor for one of my children in particular. So we're going to turn this on. All right, and again, instinct. There is no high, medium, or low. We're just gonna go by how it's cooking. All right, so we're gonna let that warm up. If it's too high, we're gonna turn it down. If it's too low, we're gonna turn it up. We're looking for a crispy golden crunch. Okay, you can see that the tuna is dispersed nicely. That's just 1 can, and this was probably about maybe 6 potatoes, large and small alike. So I can see the tuna, but I am going to make it another can in there because I really want the flavor of tuna to pop. Okay, I did pour a little bit of the juice out into the sink. Maybe you don't have to. It might actually add a nice flavor. And that might be something you might, if you have a cat, you might want to pour it on its dry food, and maybe they'll be more excited, like you're going to be after you eat these. Okay. So again, this is my 2nd can, and we're chopping all the pieces up so they will distribute through the potatoes beautifully. And you know what? You could probably use sweet potatoes. I'm actually considering one of these times to keep the carbs low to use, I'm going to mash this up. This is cauliflower, and I'm going to make cauliflower mashed potatoes with that. However, I wonder if this would work with tuna and that cauliflower. But for today, we'll stick to this, the basics. All right, so we're going to stick this in. Mixing it thoroughly. Make sure you get the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to take another bowl, and we're going to, instead of egging it, I just don't think all of that is always necessary. It is tasty when you add egg. I will agree to that. But we're going to try not to today, okay? All right, make sure you get in the bottom. All right. It looks like a great amount of tuna. What do you think? Maybe you don't like that much, tuna in there, so you use 1 can. All right. It's all on how you like. Does this look good to you? This looks good for me and what I would like for my family to have. So now I'm going to get another bowl, and now I'm going to take this, I'm going to form it. You can form it into a ball. You can form it into a patty. We like patties here. Okay, so you could shape it into a heart. You could shape it into anything you want. It kind of looks green because of my spinach, which is superb, but that won't matter because I am going to dip it into, I'm going to see how this goes, into the breadcrumb. All right. And then we're going to stick it in the oil. You might want to pat it down That might help it a lot. All right, now yes, if you had the egg, it probably would stick better. All right, we're trying to eliminate as much of these ingredients as possible. I don't want to use egg. I don't want to use wheat, although this is spreader wheat. All right, so now I can hear it sizzling. See it? Here we go. I'm finding the greatest way to make a patty is to roll this into a ball, okay, and then just squish it down, boom, and then you just smooth out the sides, and then you're ready for breading, okay? Very simple. It doesn't get more simpler than this, and you gotta make sure now, when you are cooking it, to make sure they don't burn. Okay, so I turned this one over, and I saw that the breadcrumb was kind of sticking to the bottom, so that might tell me instinctively that it's too high. So let's see, I turned it down a little lower, maybe more like almost like a little past, almost 2, but a 3. And I think I'm right. I just turned that over. Now, does it have to be cooked in oil? Absolutely not. You put it in the oven, and you can sprinkle some olive oil on it, and it's beautiful. It really is. Trust me. Okay, here we go. I did turn some over. Now, you want to use olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil, or not, I don't even use canola oil, to be honest. This oil will stay in your pan for longer. If you put extra virgin olive oil in there, then that's more like for salads. That will totally disappear out of your pan, and you'll get really frustrated, and it's expensive. But yes, I am noticing that it's true that the egg will hold it together nicely. And then when you're done, just put it in a pan, a dish, whatever you have. You know how it goes. In with your napkin to absorb some of that oil. Oil is good for you. Canola oil is not. It has soy in it, and nowadays soy is garbage. However, if you want to use it, like my grandmother used to say, go ahead. This one's falling apart a little bit. Okay, so depending on how big or small you make it, if you don't have the egg, you want to go smaller, I'm noticing. Okay, now I move the oil around a little bit. You can hear that crackling. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so if you use a metal spatula, you will have way more luck, I think. And that's my instinct. So, also, you want to get all the leftover breadcrumbs out so that it doesn't leave nasty burn marks on your food. So, we're doing pretty good over here. How are you doing? Huh? Now, you're going to have to play with. This will always work out. So if you are not having luck, you have to say to yourself, is the temperature too high? Is it too low? You have to play with it. See what works, what doesn't. So I was able to achieve this nice brown crust, okay? We don't want to kill our food, see? There's nice enzymes in there that help us to break down our food. Those are the helping hands so that our bellies are comfortable. All right, so we have another batch to go. A little goes a long way. I tried a small piece. Oh man, because I'm sitting here cooking thinking, I'm standing here thinking, you know, you can, because I've done this in the past, you can put a little bit of tartar sauce in there, homemade, always the best. You could put just pickles if you're trying to stay away from dairy. You can put your lemon juice in the bowl. You could put it after. And because this recipe will stay with you for years to come, you can try it, different varieties. Oh my gosh, you could put shallots in there, onion flakes, real onions. It's just endless. It goes on and on. So these are looking beautiful. See? And I tasted it thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I should have put the lemon inside. But you know what? It is so perfect. It is right on the money. And then you can sprinkle a little lemon on it or whatever you like. It's all up to you. Instinct cooking. Yeah, I just turned that baby over. I noticed that the thicker and smaller I made them, the better. So you see over here, this one's thinner, and it kind of wanted to fall apart. I had to keep pushing it. These ones are small, but I think I wanted them even more compact. The more I played with it in my hand to make sure it was tight, the better they're doing. See? Oh, that needs more oil. time for more oil in the pan. See that? Look at how beautiful. Really, come on. Does it get any better than this? Look at it, look at it. Oh, wow, come on. Beautiful, beautiful. But wait! Instinct tells me not to have wheat. I just had one of those. Bad move. Okay, I have breathing problems. No, when I stay away from wheat, I do better. But what about those of us that want to have this? All right, so potatoes are high insulin. However, if you don't care, then, but you do care about the wheat because maybe it is an inflammatory for you, I took flaxseed. All right, this is Simply Nature. You can find flaxseed anywhere. Make sure it doesn't have the smoked flavor though, because then you might not like that. This is just plain. And you can have a breadcrumb too. And let's try to make that nice and crispy, okay? All right, here's a test. Can you tell which one is the flaxseed? Can you tell, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's this one. Okay, so we're gonna let it sit. Make sure both sides are crispy. When they are, they can be removed. This one could use a little more. Instinct cooking. Look at that, huh? Eh? Alright. This one was mine. I'm going to put it over here. Anything that you want to make, don't ever feel like you cannot say you have allergies. I know I have allergies to wheat. I get it. However, I don't have to go without. Oh no. Absolutely not. You can have anything you want. You just have to open your mind and know and do your homework and see that there are other ingredients out there for you. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, let me go get the phone and we'll be back. All right, here goes. Here's mine with the flaxseed. You can see it looks beautiful, right? Here we go. All right. Now, I think it was because I was late in the pan where there wasn't a whole lot of oil. So what I'm going to do is, instinctively, it tells me, while you're up in the cabinet, I'm going to take some lemon juice and pour it on there. Ready? Here we go. Much better. So if you're going to use flaxseed, and you can put flaxseed in the breadcrumb. You can do anything you want. All right, the next best thing is to clean as you go. So I already washed up some things. I'm almost near the end of cooking, and then I'm almost done with cleaning, and I'll have no mess. I can go and make some tartar sauce, and that's what we'll do next. So I got about 28 fish cakes out of about maybe 5 or 6 potatoes. And look, I still have all my homemade breadcrumb. You only use a little at a time, right? So you don't ever just put it in the dish really high. You put a little bit, you use it, you know, and you keep patting it on it like this. If it doesn't stick, you just keep patting it over. You grab it, put it on, pat it. And then if you need more, you get some more out of the container. So we're almost done. Things are looking great. Looking great. There you have it. I had to put some on its side because my pan was too small, and I'm going to let it cool off, and you could sprinkle it again with a little bit more salt if you want. It's up to you. You are the boss. Look, I just have to wipe down things. There are no dirty dishes. Look at it. Okay? That one little thing, that's it. Out of all that. Clean as you go while you're waiting. So I hope this helped you. You do not have to use the ingredients I used. Instinct cooking is about saying to yourself, well, I don't want to make homemade breadcrumbs. I don't have them, or I don't know how. I don't care to. Just whip out whatever you have, okay? You don't have to use homemade mayo. Use the mayonnaise in your refrigerator. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying over here, eh? Okay, so I am going to show you quickly how to make your homemade mayo so you can make relish. Tartar sauce coming up. In my house, don't you dare serve these things without tartar sauce. My man requires it. Okay, so to make homemade tartar sauce, I use, this is an old salsa jar, okay? And even though I have mayo in there, to me that's precious. That's hard work right there, okay? And it is over a week old, but I know that we can still use it. I've tested it, tried it, okay. So I'm gonna scrape all that out, and I save little jars like this one to put it into. Look. That is homemade. Woohoo! That means there's no garbage in it. Okay, there's just a little bit, but it can go on a nice sandwich before we use this one. I'm gonna rinse this one out. Okay, you're cracking 2 eggs and you're gonna leave them at the bottom. There are other mayo recipes out there that I have tried and failed. This is the only one that works that I found. Always put the eggs at the bottom and leave them there. I wanted to make 2 servings to fill up this whole container, but if you're going to make 1 serving, you just need 1 egg. So I'm going to do 2 servings for 2 eggs and 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. 1, 2. Okay, if you're going to use 1 serving, you're going to use 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, preferably the one with the mother, because this is all the fiber. See that stuff floating around at the bottom? Can you see it? Look at that. That's exactly what we're looking for. Woohoo! Okay, but I'm going to use 4 teaspoons of that. Okay, so now you're going to use whatever salt you have. I prefer either sea salt or Himalayan. The white table salt will actually rob you of minerals from your body because it's bleached trash. But if you have it and you don't care, then do like my Nana said. You like it? Go ahead. So it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. I am doubling it, and my homeschooling brain tells me that it's a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Did you know that they sell avocado oil? If you can eat an avocado, you will be blessing your body with so much healthy fat that your cells will be able to transport information back and forth so smoothly, you won't even understand how your body is moving so smooth. Okay, so we are going to put 1 cup of that in here. And if you're going to do 1 serving, you're going to use 1 cup of avocado oil. I, on the other hand, am going to use 2. Okay, I put the oil in. So basically you're layering each ingredient on top of the other and you leave it there. I am going to do 2 cups of avocado oil. Okay, we are going to use an immersion blender. Can you do this in your regular blender? I do not know, but I know that I purposely went out and bought this baby because I've seen it work online, so I wanted to try it myself, and it does a beautiful job. When you put it in, it does, and you turn it on, it does stick to the bottom. Don't be nervous. All right, so we're going to just gently put that all the way down. Okay, and we immersed the immersion blender for 20 seconds. Here we go. You are done. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Beautiful. Look at that. And if you like it sweet, you can add a little bit of sugar that has minerals in it. Not your typical sugar. Look at it. Beautiful. Look. Nice. All right, I took 4 pickles from the pickle jar. Yes, I did. And you know what? You could go and buy the really big pickle jar like this one. Let me see. Down there, I put my own cucumbers in the vinegar that was already in there once we emptied it out. And you could take that whole thing and make relish out of it if you really want to. And the reason why is because I investigated my relishes when I bought them and they had sugar in it. I don't want anything else but pickles. So, 4 pickles. Here we go. Look at that. Perfect. 1 second. Come on, people. Beautiful. Now we're going to take the magic and we're going to put these babies together. Oh. Genius. I'm going to take the little leftover that's in there, add some more to it, put the relish with it, put some lemon juice, and we will have the most wonderful time of the year. Okay, so I used 3 tablespoons. It was not any kind of recipe. I just knew that 2 wasn't enough, and I wanted it more pickly. And I'm also putting a sprinkle of dill. Woohoo! We are firing this up, baby. If you want this tartar sauce to really be wonderful, then yes, you're going to have your relish on hand separately and your mayo on hand separately for different types of foods, occasions. But the best kind I ever made was when I took pickles and I chopped it up, but not super fine. It was kind of like in a little chunks. It was like, way bigger than those. But that was the best. So I hope that the two of you, your fish and yourself, will go great together. Look at this, see? And you can just pour it right on. Do not put a lot of tartar sauce. Do not put a lot of lemon juice on there because then it'll thin out your tartar sauce too much. See? And then you can present it on a plate for your man, all right, your husband, or your wife, or your kids. If they like tartar sauce, you could put more pickles on top. However you like it. So it's instant cooking. God bless. Remember the pot of cauliflower I showed you? This is it. I mashed it up. I put green peppers that were fresh, not sauteed, and lemon rind the skin of it, and I chopped it really fine. Placed it in, mixed it all up, put it in flaxseed, and that was it. That's it. And there they are, frying up now. Yep, so if you want to use cauliflower, I'm telling you, you can do it. And that way there, it definitely is not as grandioso, of course, as the mashed potatoes. However, you're not getting gypped, right? And it's really nutritious, and it's really great for your liver, okay? That is a cruciferous food, cauliflower. So you can do it in the oven as well if you like. Just act like it's just like the potatoes, okay? I thought that for sure they would flatten out, but look, pretty good. Same spices, same everything. Woohoo! So this would be bon appetito with Tito.